This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell. We're coming to you live and around the world from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free, 1-800-610-7035. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And our main website, where you can listen to the X-Zone 724-365 at www.xzoneradiotv.com. And we come to you Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. Eastern until midnight on the Starcom Radio Network, where you can listen to my buddy Ed Till Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. And this is how radio is really supposed to be. We're on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, the Digital Broadcast Network, and the Digital Satellite Network. My guest this hour, X-Zone Nation, is VIKKI Anderson, and as an advanced certified feng shui consultant and member of the International Feng Shui Guild, VIKKI Anderson specializes in home, office, and interior design, as well as home staging. She has been a metaphysical teacher, author, and writer for the past 44 years, and has added feng shui to her list of favorite things to do more than 20 years ago. She helps clients get the positive life and opportunities they deserve. VIKKI likes to work on realtor staging to help homes sell quickly by eliminating negative aspects of the space and using simple feng shui cures. By changing colors, shapes, and elements and in a space, anyone can create an environment which is nurturing and calm while enhancing their lives. Voluntary simplicity is the key. VIKKI's website, www.fengshuimoon.com, and she's also the author of a book that she's working on right now entitled The Feng Shui This. So there you go, VIKKI. Feng Shui This. Welcome to the X-Zone. Nice having you with us.
Thank you so much, Bob.
You know, VIKKI, I would imagine in today's negative world that Feng Shui is the way to go. I've had the opportunity of meeting with Master Joseph Wu and other feng shui masters over the years, and it's amazing that more people have no idea what feng shui is about. So maybe you can help me turn the light on in some people tonight by letting them know what feng shui is.
I'd be happy to. Feng shui actually literally means wind and water. The belief is that if your house or your land has a gentle breeze and enough water to sustain you, then you would have good feng shui. In essence, this practice works with the chi of the land or buildings and how it reacts with individuals. So feng shui is believed to promote prosperity, good health, and stronger relationships, which benefit everyone involved in the process. It's a 5,000-year-old Chinese tradition that has become more westernized today, but most of its principles and practices remain the same.
I understand that Donald Trump, who we all know is very successful, uses feng shui, and I know for a fact that both of the casinos in Niagara Falls, Ontario, the older one and the brand new Falls View Casino, used feng shui in the layout and development.
Yes, he also did that down in Atlantic City as well. And mostly, I believe, I haven't seen the ones in Canada, but the ones down here, he mostly had big fountains put in the front because water is money in feng shui. So if you have a fountain facing the entrance of your building, every time the architectural front door is open, you're inviting more business opportunities, more financial security, prosperity, and abundance. So it looks like it's worked well for him.
It certainly has. And I know he doesn't own the casinos here in Niagara, but both casinos have fountains inside the doors.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have one inside of mine, too, but I don't have Trump's wealth.
Neither do I, sweetie. There are different sects within feng shui. Can you tell us what the differences are?
Yes, there's several. There's 4 that I usually deal with, and there's one that's form school, and form school is all about the structures in the land, whether there's hills or rivers, and if the land slopes up or down, and so it's you're talking about the form of the land.
Right.
Then we have feng shui, the compass feng shui, which you actually use a compass for the different areas, and they do birthdays, and it's a different type of birthday that you would come up with certain numbers. And then according to where the compass is, if it's south, if it's north, and you happen to be, say, an east, it's a little odd because sometimes you can't sleep with your husband or your wife because you're different directions. So I really don't follow that.
No, neither would I.
Then there's flying stars, which I studied for only 2 years.
Right.
But flying stars changes every single year. They call it the stars. It's actually the feng shui houses in the Bagua that change. And so you always need a consultant to make these changes for you. So I wasn't happy with that either. And then the one that I use is Black Hat Tibetan Buddhist sect, or BTB.
Right.
And the reason I use that is because it's the most user-friendly. I've been teaching metaphysics for 44 years, so I know that, people are all looking for help, and I can tell them what to do in one consultation, and they can actually continue the process themselves at their leisure or whenever, in their own time frame. So it's really a good way to introduce feng shui to people, tell them what you suggest they can do, but they can also use their own brain and bring in whatever they want, as long as it's within the colors, the shapes, or the elements that you had suggested.
Now, you mentioned the Bagua. How would you explain this to our listeners?
Well, on my site, fengshuimoon.com, there is a picture of a Bagua on the first page, but it actually is an 8-sided object. It looks like a stop sign, and it is really a Chinese floor plan or energy map. And the 8 areas around, well, there's actually 9 areas because you use the middle, but the areas of the Bagua relate to your career, self-cultivation, your family, your wealth, your fame, which means your good luck, your partnerships, your children, and knowledge. So, and then it does break down into body parts as well, but, it just, it goes on forever. And then what I do is when I teach beginners feng shui, I tell them to make it very simple by making the Bagua, this octagon shape, into like a tic-tac-toe board. And then you hold it in front of you. I always say hold it to your belly button. And then you walk into your home or office, and then you would know where these different sections fall in your home.
Does the Wi-Fi that is used in so many offices and homes these days, as well as the telephones that are in the house that use the what do they call they're just like wireless phones that you use in the house off of a main phone that is somewhere, it's like a router. Does this affect the feng shui within the house as well?
Oh yes, of course. The EMFs, the electromagnetic frequencies. we actually have cell sensors that we go into people's homes and see where the most EMFs are.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are in the wiring in the walls. So I always suggest there's companies online that you can go to their website and buy EMF deflectors.
Right.
I have one that I plug into my outlet, so it takes all the EMFs from the wall, the wiring in the walls. There's cell phone chips that you could put in, and they're just like you just stick them on the cell phone, and it deflects the EMFs. When the wiring comes into your house, where all the wiring comes into your house, that's where most of them seem to be. So you want to be very careful there because it can affect your health. It causes people to be sick. Doctors are saying like 10 years from now, they're afraid of children having a lot of brain cancer because, you know, with all the cell phone use, but at least now they're texting more, so it's away from their brain. And it does cause migraines. It causes people to be irritated, overwhelmed, tired. The EMFs are a big problem, and I've been trying to educate people for many, many years on this, and some people really don't believe it, even when I show them with the cell sensor. But, you know, I did my job. Now it's up to them to, you know, pay attention.
You know, when you think that when you pull into a gas station, well, I know here in Ontario anyway, I don't know about anywhere else in the United States or Canada, there are signs that say, please do not use your cell phone while filling up your car.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Because, hello, it's microwaves.
Right.
You know, and then there are certain car dealers and car manufacturers who are putting Wi-Fi into cars now. And what they're doing is they're actually turning your car into a microwave oven.
Yeah.
You know, and God bless the kids of today. You know, I think you and I are pretty well the same age. You know, I'm 62 this year. And, you know, we had cell phones when I was a kid. They were called a dime.
Right.
Because if you needed to call, if there was an emergency, there were two things my mother always made sure that we had when we left the house. A dime, and we were wearing clean underwear.
Absolutely.
You know, they were the good old days. I just wonder how many kids are getting brain fried.
Yes.
You know, and how is this going to affect our future, our development? What are we leading into?
It's really scary because I see a lot of mothers giving their toddlers their cell phone to play with, or toy cell phones they can play with. And, you know, so you're pre-programming your children already that this is an acceptable thing when, you know, I have a cell phone and, you know, I do use it to text occasionally, but I only really use it in emergencies. I rarely have it on.
Well, that's because you are a very rare type of person called sensible.
Yes, my niece calls us, what did she call me? Techno-Amish.
Well, I'll tell you something. I applaud you.
Well, thank you.
You know, and you said something about pre-programming, and that is so true because we pre-program our kids. You know, from the time they're born, we basically raise them into a world of fantasy. You know, the cow that jumped over the moon and the lady that lives in a pumpkin and then another lady lives in a shoe with all these kids. And this is the way we program them up until about grade 2 or grade 3, and then we do something really mean and nasty to them. We throw them into the world of reality, like, oh, we lied! And then we wonder why kids don't trust us. Well, I think we have to take some of the responsibility. Yeah, so pre-programming, you are dead on. And then these video games, I think they're more of a nuisance than they are an asset. Mind you, I do appreciate educational games for kids. Mm-hmm. You know, get the mind working, get the mind thinking. You know, like, it doesn't have to be electronic. You know, get the kid out after supper. It's called exercise.
Or the great outdoors.
Exactly. Whoa, there is a phrase I haven't heard of in a long time. The great outdoors.
Great outdoors. Well, I'm old. What can I tell you?
I like the way you think.
Well, you know, my daughter's 32 now. I've been married for a number of years, but we never had video games in my house. She read books all the time, and she now has 5 degrees.
Well,
and, you know, and she's not a big, I mean, she does use a cell phone, you know, to stay in touch with people, but she doesn't live on it either because I never raised her that way. I never thought that was acceptable, and I didn't want her coming down with brain cancer.
well, I'm laughing because my producer just said in my ear, and then you wonder why we can't get any mobile phone service to advertise with us. I don't care. I wouldn't take them anyway. I would not take them.
No.
You know, because I feel we're doing more harm than good. And I think I love technology, but I don't think that we need to be feeding ourselves with all these EMF waves from all the towers that keep on popping up all over the place. You know, there's EMF towers outside. There's EMF routers in our homes. Yes. Every neighbor has one. I think we're going overboard, and it's going to come around to bite us on the butt one day. But anyway,
I'll tell you what's really not working with these cell phones. I see people walking their dogs. Are they paying attention to their dog or enjoying the outside? No, they're on the cell phone. I saw a father playing catch with his little 5-year-old boy, 5 or 6-year-old son on the cell phone, not even paying attention to his child. So why go outside?
Or how about this?
Child?
How about this? Go to a restaurant and just look at how many people are texting instead of enjoying the members of their family. My sister-in-law, instead of, you know, yelling supper's ready, she texts the kids.
Oh my God.
You see,
that's sad. That's really sad.
We have a rule in this house. When you come to visit us, we have a table by the front door. That's where you put your electronic iPad or your cell phone. That's where you put it.
Wonderful.
Kids ask, well, Grandpa, can I have your Wi-Fi code? No.
I actually knew friends that businessmen at lunch.
Yeah.
If they went out to lunch, the first person to use their cell phone paid the bill.
I love that.
And they really started thinking about it before they used it.
Am I correct in remembering that with feng shui, we got to get back on this because
yes, we do.
You and I have to get back on another show, and we'll call it our bitch session. How's that?
That sounds wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, I can say that. We're on satellite. It's okay.
Okay.
Plus, if there's any kid that's up at
this
22 minutes past the hour at 10, the parents should be ashamed of themselves. See.
You said we were getting back to feng shui.
Yeah. I'm listening to my producer, and I've had the same guy for 24 years.
God bless.
Yeah, God bless me. He looks like a cross between Kermit the Frog and ZZ Top.
Okay.
Okay. There you go, Craig. I gave you your plug, and he's presently looking for a girlfriend. So if anybody out there looks like Miss Piggy and Phyllis Diller.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Colors play a big part. I know that red is a power color.
Yes, it is.
You know,
it's an auspicious color, which means it's very special. It has a lot of power. Red is, they use their envelopes when they red envelopes for occasions, baptisms, for weddings. That's supposed to bring good luck. We use red string on our bells and the crystals that we hang. If you want, like, say, for instance, you're having problems in a relationship, we would suggest that you put red, a red fitted sheet on your bed. So that will bring you both closer together. So no matter where red is in your home, it does represent fire, so you can't put it in the water area. But no matter where red is, you would certainly bring in good luck into that space. You know,
I noticed during the presidential debates that were on last week, everybody was wearing a blue or a black suit. Everyone was wearing a red tie.
Well, that's my nephew is in the Army, and he always said that they pay attention to the president when he wears a red tie because they know that there's something important. When he's wearing a yellow tie or something else, they say, "Oh, okay, he's just talking." So it's kind of interesting.
It is. So feng shui can also be applied on your person.
Absolutely. I've worked with colors. I teach metaphysics, so one of the areas I teach is colors because I do tarot, astrology, numerology, all that kind of stuff, hypnotherapy, crystal therapy. So I do introduce colors into it. For instance, if you're using a light color or a pale color, say you're using a pale green, you would have money problems. If you're using a dark green, like a moss green or a forest green, then you attract financial prosperity and abundance. If you wear more red, not only would you be luckier, but you'll be more assertive, you'll be more adamant, more persistent, you can stand up for yourself a lot better. And I'm always telling my tarot students, when you wear white, and a lot of people wear white and black, so we have this issue of you're wearing white, so I consider that being a sucker. You're too giving, too caring, too loving, too kind, too generous, too honest, and you eventually turn into a doormat, and everybody asks you for things, and nobody does anything for you. And then people like to wear black, and I say, how many happy teenagers do you know? Don't teenagers wear black? They're not the happiest people in the world. Mm-hmm. They're depressed, they're upset, they're overwhelmed, they're confused, so all the different colors, their vibrations do bring in different characteristics and traits to our personality. So
Right.
it's very important that you know what energies you want to bring in so you can wear the appropriate color.
I also remember from speaking to Joseph Wu that coins are also an important
Yes.
aspect.
Yes, we use the Chinese coins for different things. I mean, you can put them in a red envelope and put money in that real American money or whatever country you're from, money in it, and then you can put it on the inside of your front door, and that will always bring in money every time you open your architectural front door. There are things called money vases, and one of the areas, if you put a money vase in your wealth area, you would always put in the Chinese coins because you're taking all the wisdom, the knowledge, the good luck, and the prosperity from all the different dynasties, the 10 dynasties, and it's like you're keeping that energy for yourself, or you're inviting that energy in for yourself, and it will start manifesting things for you in your own life.
Exo Nation, my guest this hour is VIKKI Anderson, and we're talking about feng shui. I've had the pleasure of interviewing Master Joseph Wu, and I also had the pleasure of knowing a very successful feng shui consultant in Niagara. Her name is Diane Boyd. And I was totally amazed when I was given the information, and I was, this is what feng shui is. This is how it works, and it's very scientific.
Yes,
it's not a bunch of hoo-wah-wah. It's scientific.
Well, there has been a lot of study in all these different areas, and I have I have 5 certifications, so I do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, people's lives change almost immediately. Yeah. I get calls all the time, a week later, a month later, people who didn't have jobs for the 2 years, and then they go on their first interview after a feng shui consultation, and they got hired. People who want to bring in better health.
Right.
The doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with them. We fixed their health area, and they found a doctor that properly diagnosed them and gave them the proper treatment. So, I've been doing this a while, but, I find that when I need things, I just fix the area that it's in, and then I get the things very quickly.
Hey, VIKKI, you and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Please stand by. Great having you with us. Once again, Exo Nation, VIKKI Anderson is our special guest. www.fengshuimoon.com. Now, I understand VIKKI has a 52-page feng shui ebook that she's willing to send you, our listeners, for free. Well, we're going to ask VIKKI how we can get you guys this gift on the other side of the news. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell, and as you know, this is a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And we're with you Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. Eastern until midnight Eastern. Worldwide toll-free, 1-800-610-7035. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, Xzone Radio TV. And our main website, our main radio website, I should say, for the X Zone, www.xzoneradiotv.com, where you can listen to the X Zone 24/7, 365. I'll be back on the other side of this break with VIKKI Anderson as we continue talking about feng shui here on the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away. Ever wondered if your advertising dollar is really working for you? If your ad would have been here, you and more than 4 million people would be listening to it right now. Contact ads at xzoneradiotv.com. What if Jesus came back now and insisted that we listen to him? How would the world be different if Christians really followed the Gospels? For 2,000 years, we've been practicing a religion. Now it's finally time to get it right. Read Liberating Jesus, new from Roberta Grimes. Meet the Jesus you never knew. Roberta uses afterlife evidence and biblical analysis to prove that Jesus is exactly right. Learning the lessons that he came to teach is the reason we are born at all. Roberta says he has come back now to insist that we actually listen to him so we can begin to use his teachings to unite and transform the world. Liberating Jesus on Amazon, October 1st, and then wherever books are sold. Jesus has the answers, and it's not too late. Roberta blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com. The Carl O. Helvey Holistic Cancer Foundation is a new nonprofit foundation that focuses on a holistic approach to cancer that includes physical, mental, spiritual, and political aspects. Cancer education, research, and care are provided for all types of cancer patients. You can listen to interviews with cancer doctors and survivors and read research on holistic aspects of cancer at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com. That's www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
The scientist and the mystic have been on an age-old, relentless search with one thing in common. They seek truth. Their paths converge in the 40,000-year-old practice of shamanism, an ancient science delving to the quantum level of life, facilitating healing, manifestation, and evolution. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka, the founder and director of Path Home Shamanic Arts School, a unique Colorado State certified occupational school training shamanic practitioners and teachers. We also provide classes for empowering personal lives through shamanism. Our certification classes are in week-long segments enabling international participation, and online classes and long-distance shamanic healing sessions are available. Come discover the science of magic in the limitless world of shamanism. www.findyourpathhome.com.
Good real estate websites are not just about showing listings, but offering visitors valuable information about neighborhoods, market statistics, tips, and personal insights. Luckily, you will find that on Roost, but you won't on many other real estate websites in Budapest. That's why we created Roost. Roost is a website with tailored results for the foreign investor, curated by Hungarian-loving expats who found their home abroad and decided to roost in Budapest. Let Roost help you get started on the right foot. Whether you intend to live, work, play, retire, or simply invest abroad, Roost offers all types of properties in Budapest, from affordable studios to luxury homes. From neighborhood insights like where to grab a great coffee or how to buy property, our team of local experts can answer your questions and speak to the direct concerns of a foreign investor. Buying foreign property is an exciting and complex adventure. It can also be very time-consuming and costly if you don't have the best information and resources at hand. Roost provides professional real estate services and assistance to an international clientele of foreign property investors and rental apartment owners in Budapest. For more information on Roost, visit their website at www.roost.co. That's www.rooste.co.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget our main event on Wednesday, September the 30th, is going to be a debate that we are going to simulcast on the, it's going to be on all of our networks, including Radio Vision, including the, there's going to be about 8 networks that are going to carry it live, the radio show and the TV show, as we have a debate between Michael Horn, who is the North American representative for Billy Meyer, and Stanton T. Friedman, the great-grandfather of ufology. A 2-hour debate, and the topic, the Billy Meyer UFO case. That's Wednesday, September the 30th, from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on the X-Zone radio show and the X-Zone TV show, and brought to you in part by Roberta Grimes at www.robertagrimes.com. My guest this hour is VIKKI Anderson. We're talking about feng shui, and her website is www.fengshuimoon.com. And VIKKI, I teased the audience about your generous offer for a 52-page feng shui ebook that you're going to be sending our listeners for free. And how would they get it, dear?
Well, they just go on my site and they can email me or contact me from the site and just say that they would love a copy of the book, and I'll be happy to email it to them.
You're one nice person. And yes, us old folks do have to stick together. What are some of the easiest home cures that people can do when it comes to increasing their prosperity, increasing the harmony within their home using feng shui?
Well, the easiest things to do would be if they would put a bell on the inside of their front door. Every time the door opens and it vibrates, it's getting rid of a lot of the negative energy that may come in through the architectural front door. Mm-hmm. So it saves them, going through some of that negative energy. Another thing is chimes around the house on the outside. I have 27 chimes on my home. And I tell you, it's beautiful. I thought I was a little overkill, and I was afraid of the neighbors, what they would say, but they all love it, especially when the wind's blowing.
Yeah.
It's just relaxing, it's soothing, and it gets rid of negative energy. The feng shui, two things are the most important in feng shui. If you can get a bagua, and that just means they can actually, people who don't get a real feng shui bagua, because unfortunately anything that has the name feng shui in front of it, they kind of quadruple the price. So what I suggest to people, go to a local craft store or frame shop that carries mirrors, and they do have a variety of octagon mirrors.
Right.
And you can put one on your front door facing outward. You can put it in your window if you want. You can put it, I always suggest to my clients to put it over the trim of their bathroom, because the toilets are the biggest drain in the house, and water is money in feng shui.
Yeah.
So every time you flush the toilet, you're flushing money down the toilet or down the drain.
So you would have the octagon mirror facing in to the washer.
Facing into your home, not into the bathroom. Yes. Or you can put
So all right, so it'd be facing the for
whatever
example,
room is outside of your bathroom. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, whether it's the hall or another room, or a lot of people prefer to put a full length mirror on the outside of that door, and that works as well. Also, so bagua, the shape of the bagua, like that stop sign shape, an octagon, is very auspicious, again, because it covers all areas of life. And it really, helps move the energy around. But the easiest thing to do is to get a 40 or 60 millimeter round crystal, a leaded crystal ball. And you can put that in a variety of places. You could put that in windows so that when the sun shines on it, the prisms come into the house.
Right.
And you would or your apartment, and you would have all the colors of the rainbow, because eventually you want every room to have all the colors. You can hang it on ceiling fans, because ceiling fans are blades, and ceiling fans actually hurt or it actually gets rid of any kind of wealth, health, or happiness. It cuts it up. So what's happening is the crystal ball, so to speak, is on a pull, for the fan, and it actually disperses the energy from going up to the fan, so that again your positive energy stays within the home. Gotcha. A really interesting one that I've done for a while, and I think it's kind of fun, is when you have more animals or pets. If you have pets, you have animals, wildlife on your property. It actually moves the energy on your property and brings you good luck. It also brings you personal feng shui, which, that's like your charities and how kind you are and how you respect nature and everything. And so the more I feed, I live in a little wooded area in northern New Jersey, and I feed the bears, the deer, the raccoons, the moles, the birds, you name it. But also, if you have a bird bath in line with your front door, not only can you watch the birds drinking or taking a bath, but water is money in feng shui. So it's right in line with your front door. So you're opening your door to a lot of financial opportunities.
But what happens if it is physically impossible to have a bird bath right in front of your front door?
Front door. Well, then what I would do is put a water fountain inside, right, on the inside of your door, as long as it's, that's a nice outside cure. But I have one outside and I have one right as soon as you open the door, it's right there facing into the home. Because if you have a fountain facing out of the, it's facing the wrong way, you're making money leave your home. So you want to bring the money into the home. So if you get a fountain and it only goes one way, make sure it's facing inward.
But what about these fountains? And I've seen them. They're called feng shui fountains, and they're circular.
Circular is our preferred shape.
Okay.
However, what I would do with them is I would put it in the wealth area, which is the far left of your space or your apartment or your home or office. And that's the wealth area. So you want to generate wealth by having the water continually, pumping there or manifesting more cash.
Gotcha. Here's a question. I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this.
Uh-oh. Go ahead.
Well, what can I say? You're in the X Zone. Where does the negative energy go that we are dispelling from our homes?
Okay. That's a good one. Basically, we get a lot of negative energy from people, from coworkers, from family, friends, from experiences we have, from watching the news, from watching horror on TV or all that kind of stuff. So what happens is when I do, I'm also an interfaith minister. So when I bless homes, I use white sage, which is the incense they use in a Catholic church. And that actually is one of the best. And I also use dragon's blood oil, but that's it's a resin from a tree. But this white sage actually helps the energy to get out of your home. So every time you're cleansing your home or clearing your home, as they call it, you have to have a window open in every room. If you don't, a lot of people have said their lives have gotten worse. And I said, how long did you have the windows open?
Right.
And of course they said, we were supposed to open the windows. So if you don't, you stir things up and you make it worse. So as long as it releases from your home, and then God is whoever that person believes in, will take care of it.
Okay, so like at home, we have our back deck, which goes on to a lower deck, which goes on to a lower deck, which goes on to where our pool is. So we've got a hot tub, we have the pool, I have a bird bath that is located in a clump of birches, and we leave the back door open during the day in the summertime for our 3 little dogs to go in and out.
Right.
So what do we do in the wintertime when you can't leave windows open?
Oh, no. When this is just as you're cleansing.
Oh, I see.
The energy is actually, that's when you want the bad energy to escape.
Gotcha.
But when during the year, like in the fall, it's going to be wonderful, with the nice cooler weather coming in. Open the windows every once in a while just to, get a change of the energy. But you don't have to do that. You kind of know when it's time to sage or to cleanse the house because you feel depressed, you feel overwhelmed, you're indecisive, you procrastinate, you just want to sit on the couch and watch TV, you have no energy. That's one way. You're upset, you're mentally confused, you're just depressed, whatever it is, you can tell when there's positive energy in the home and you can tell when there's negative.
Okay, so where would our listeners get white sage?
Well, I get it online. I mean, you can go to a metaphysical shop, a New Age shop. I just put in white sage. They're leaves.
Yeah.
it was funny because I'm so against drugs and everything, and some person came over and said, "Oh my God, I don't think you're supposed to have marijuana in the house." And I'm looking at her and I said, "Well, I don't," and it's funny, but it's white sage. You can get it in a bundle, which means that it's wrapped together and you can go through the home that way. You have to be very, very careful, though. It's very hot. It burns very hot, and it actually exploded a dish that I was using for it. So I always suggest ceramic or something very thick. I personally use the loose leaves. They're a little more expensive, but they really do such a wonderful job that with all the astrology readings and tarot readings I do, that, as I tell my students, nobody comes to see me when they're happy. So I have all their negative energy in here. Oh, yeah. So I want to make sure that the space is as cleared as it could be. So I kind of use the better sage.
X-Zone Nation, our guest this hour is VIKKI Anderson. Her website is www.fengshuimoon.com. And for those of you who are going to put down F-U-N-G because I'm saying feng, it's FENGSHUIMOON.com. What is the significance of mirrors in feng shui?
Well, mirrors are used for many different things. Mirrors actually expand things to infinity. Mm-hmm. So if you have, for instance, if you put a mirror behind your stove,
yes.
What you're actually doing is expanding the flame. It does two things. One, if you have a mirror, say, on top of a fireplace facing up towards heaven, right, or over the fireplace, mm-hmm, or behind the stove, you're actually helping your space to never turn, never have a fire.
Okay, let me ask you this, because the area behind your stove usually gets greasy. Would stainless steel, where you could see a reflection, actually work?
You know what? Some bagwas have been made of steel now, or some kind of aluminum to reflect. But what I suggest to people who can't do that is just put a nice mirror behind the stove, on the wall behind the stove. Okay. That is your intent. And so it still works. And your intent is you're actually doubling your burners, yeah, which means that you can actually, the intent is you have enough money to buy food for anybody that comes into your home.
Plus, it would be another place where the wife can put her makeup on.
That's true.
While she's cooking. There you go.
No, but another real important thing with that is that in American homes, I don't know how it is in Canada, but in American homes, 80% of our homes are built with the stove. When the wife or whoever's cooking is at the stove, there's always a door behind your back.
Nope.
And that is really one of the big feng shui no-nos, because it's, people can disrupt you, people can scare you. That means things are going on behind your back. People are, conniving behind you. So if you have that mirror right there as you're cooking, right, you know where the kids are, you know who just came into the room, so you're kind of doing two things. You're helping, keep the fire down, but yet expanding the abundance, and you're, in control of that room.
See, we have rules in our home. Rule number 1, when Laura is in the kitchen cooking, nobody comes in.
Oh, my God.
If you forget what rule number 2 is, see rule number 1.
Rule number 1.
Exactly. Now, how about fish? Are fish lucky, for example, aquariums in a house?
They, like the koi?
Yeah, well, even goldfish.
Well, let me tell you a story.
Okay.
I had, fish are very auspicious in feng shui, so I figured I'd put it at the front door, which is the career area, and I bought a little 10-gallon fish tank, and I was trying, I was getting it going and everything, and I had all the right number of fish and the right color and everything. I tell you, for a year, I killed those poor things. I just couldn't let. My brother always made fun of me. He says, in Petco, when they see you, the fish are probably hiding behind the coral, going, "Oh my God, Vicky's coming again! Hide!" So eventually, I gave that up, and I got some betta fish.
Right.
But it is, if you know how to, take care of a fish tank, it is very auspicious. Not only the water's moving, it is water, you have the filter going, but you got to realize too, we put chemicals in there.
Yeah.
So anything with chemicals kills different things. Like if you have your laundry detergent, shampoos, toothpaste, whatever, everything should be lower, because high or up is like, say, your attic, on the top of your closet. Anything high on top of hutches or bookcases, that's your future. So you don't want poisons in your future. So where you do your wash or whatever, you put all your detergents lower. Of course, if you have young children, make sure they're in cabinets that can't be open. But a lot of people, I did a woman last week. I feng shuied her home, and she just got married a year ago, and she and her husband were separated. And the first thing I saw in her future, on top of this huge hutch, she stored her toilet paper.
Oh, that's...
And I said, "Oh, that's great. That means your future is crap." I just said, "Oh my God." And she says, "Well, that's what it sounds like. That's what it feels like." So I said, "Well, get that down." Then she had all her detergents, very, very high. She had a shelf over her washing machine. Then she had a huge fish tank. It was 150 gallons. Huge. Took up a whole, like most of a wall. And there were a couple dead fish floating in it. And she said, "Well, I didn't want to get more fish." But, so right there, the money was going down the drain. Her marriage was going down the drain. And she had no colors in the home. Everything was brown, beige, and tan.
Oh, my gosh.
So she had no balance of love. There was no pinks, no reds. There was no wealth, which would be the purples, greens, or reds. There was no health in there. Give it a yellow or a gold or something. Every time she showed me something, her bed linens, her tablecloths, her curtains, pillows, these are easy things you can change. Pictures with color in them. Gardens, bouquet of flowers, an outdoor cafe with wonderful different color umbrellas. Something with color. All her pictures were brown and beige. I was like, I said, the energy in here is so low, it's affecting me. I said, "Really? This is crazy."
Hey, Vicki, I hate to do this. I thoroughly enjoyed our hour together. I'd love to have you back on in the future.
Oh, thank you so much.
This has been really great. We've got about 40 seconds. So what would you like to say to the members of the Exo Nation? What are your final thoughts?
You know what? Feng Shui is a process. If you hang a crystal, you didn't Feng Shui your home. Just look at any book. Look on my site. I have a lot of articles. The 52-page book will give you some really good insight. And if you can't Feng Shui your home for $100 or less, with your own stuff, we go shopping in different rooms, then you're not doing it right. It's not about the money. It's about feeling comfortable and basically get rid of things you don't need, want, or like, because they're not really helping you.
Vicki Anderson, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great delight having you on the show, and I look forward to the next time you and I meet back here in the X Zone. So until then,
thank you so much,
take
Rob.
care of yourself.
It's been a pleasure.
Good night, Vicki.
Good night.
Bye-bye now. Exo Nation, Vicki Anderson has been our guest this hour. www.fengshuimoon.com. Well, it's that time when we have to take a break for all of you who are going to be with us on the other side of this commercial break with the news. Stand by. But for all those who are leaving our affiliates right now, I'll be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock as once again we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. So from everyone here at the X Zone Radio Show, the X Zone Broadcast Network, Starcom Radio Network, Digital broadcast and satellite networks, always remember to keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. Good night, everyone.